Let me start with a confession. If you ever looked at an indie game and thought, why does this look like it was drawn on a napkin at 3 in the morning? You're not alone. And here is the twist. That napkin look is often very intentional. Indie games are famous for their art styles. Sometimes beautiful, sometimes strange, sometimes so simple it hurts. Today, I want to walk through the most used and most famous art styles in indie games. Show you real game examples, talk about how developers actually make those looks, and explain what game engines give us to pull this off without losing our minds. And I promise, no art school lecture, just stories, tools, and a few bad jokes along the way. Just kidding. I'm not good at telling jokes. Before we jump into examples, let's agree on what art style means in game development terms. Art style is not just how pretty a game looks. It is a full visual language. It includes color choices, shapes, animation style, camera perspective, lighting, and how detailed or simple everything is. In indie games, art style often exists because of limitations. Limited budget, limited time, limited team size, and sometimes limited sanity. Yeah, some things drive you crazy, when you're in game development. But those limits are also what creates strong identity. When you see a screenshot of, let's say, CUPHEAD, you usually know immediately what game it is. That is art style doing its job. Let's start with the most famous one, pixel art. This style is literally everywhere, and for good reasons. Pixel art games use small square pixels as the main building blocks of characters and environments. Famous examples include Celeste, Stardew Valley, Undertale, Dead Cells, Hyper Light Drifter, and Shovel Knight. These games look like retro, but they are not lazy throwbacks. Modern pixel art often uses advanced lighting, smooth animations, and clever color palettes. Remember Super Mario Bros? Pixel art became popular in indie games partly because it feels approachable. A solo developer can actually finish assets. You do not need a massive art team to draw a small character. Tools like Sprite, Pixel Edit, and even Photoshop are commonly used to create pixel art sprites and tiles. Many developers animate frame by frame, similar to traditional animation. Although that's a crazy thing to do. Inside game engines like Unity, Godot, and even Unreal, pixel art is supported through sprite renders, tile map systems, and pixel-perfect cameras. Unity has a built-in pixel-perfect camera component that helps avoid blurry pixels. Godot has strong support for pixel snapping and tile maps, which is why many pixel art developers love it. If you want to verify this, the official Unity and Godot documentation covers pixel art workflows in detail. Low poly art is another extremely common indie style, and probably for the same reason. It uses simple three-dimensional models with a small number of polygons. Think of games like Firewatch, Super Hot, A Short Hike, and Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. These games use simple shapes, flat colors, and strong lighting to create a clean and readable look. Low poly works well because it keeps production manageable. Modeling low poly assets in tools like Blender is faster than creating realistic high-detail models. Textures are often minimal or sometimes not used at all. Instead, color comes directly from material. Game engines help a lot here. Unity and Unreal both have powerful lighting systems that can make simple geometry look stylish. Real-time shadows, fog, and color grading can completely change the mood of a low-poly scene. Godot also supports three-dimensional rendering with modern lighting, though its workflow is slightly different. Again, if you want to double-check lighting features, the Unity and Unreal Engine manuals are reliable sources. You have to read the documentation. In the last years, some indie games go all in on hand-drawn art. This means characters and environments are drawn like illustrations, often frame by frame. Hollow Knight is a famous example, as well as CUPHEAD, Spiritfarer, and Child of Light. CUPHEAD, in particular, is known for its hand-drawn animation inspired by 1930s cartoons. And this has been confirmed in multiple developer interviews and documentaries. This is crazy. They literally draw every asset. They draw it. Creating this style is extremely time-consuming. Artists usually draw assets in tools like Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, or Procreate. Animations are often created by drawing each frame manually. This style is less about technical tricks and more about raw artistic effort. Game engines support this style through sprite systems and animation controllers. Unity uses the animator system, while Godot uses Animation Player and animated sprite nodes. These tools let developers control timing, transitions, and blending between animations. If you want to confirm how CUPHEAD was animated, Studio MDHR has spoken publicly about their process, and documentaries like the Xbox documentary series cover it. That's a nice one to watch. Minimalist art styles remove as much detail as possible. Games like Thomas Was Alone, Inside, Limbo are great examples. Wait. I'm not saying that these games are minimalist. Pay attention. We are talking about art style. Remember? Characters might be simple shapes. Environments might use only a few colors. The focus shifts from detail to mood, motion, and contrast. Remember Limbo? Amazing. This style works especially well for emotional storytelling. When visuals are simple, players project their own feelings onto the game. From a development perspective, minimalist art reduces asset creation time, but it requires strong design decisions. Color theory and composition become very important. Game engines offer tools like post-processing effects, color grading, bloom, and vignette to support minimalist styles. Unity has a post-processing stack. Unreal has built-in post-processing volumes. And Godot includes visual shaders and environment settings. These tools help create atmosphere without adding more art assets. If you're into game development, these tools are a must, because they literally change the perspective and the visual of your game. Voxel art is built from small cubes, similar to three-dimensional pixels. Minecraft is the most famous example, though today the game is considered mainstream. Other indie games like Crossy Road and Teardown also use voxel-based visuals. Voxel art can be created using specialized tools like Magica Voxel. Assets are exported and then imported into game engines. Some developers generate voxels procedurally inside the engine itself, but that's a huge work. Engines do not always support voxels natively, but developers use custom shaders, mesh generation, or third-party tools. I never used them, but it seems that Unity has many voxel frameworks available, while Unreal supports voxel plugins. Some indie games aim for a painterly look, where visuals resemble paintings rather than photos. Examples include Ori and the Blind Forest, Grease, and Okami. The games use soft gradients, hand-painted textures, and fluid animations. I mean, this art style is incredible. Look at Niva, it's amazing. This style often combines traditional art with modern rendering. Artists paint textures in tools, then apply them to models or sprites. Shaders play a huge role here. Custom shaders can add outlines, watercolor effects, or soft lighting. Unity and Unreal both allow developers to write custom shaders. Unity uses shader graph, while Unreal uses its material editor. Godot also supports shader scripting. Many indie games use isometric or top-down views because they are efficient and readable. Is it isometric or isometric? Games like Hades, Bastion, Disco Elysium, and Transistor fall into this category. These perspectives allow rich environments without needing full three-dimensional realism. Assets are often created as sprites or simple three-dimensional models rendered from a fixed angle. Lighting and shadows are carefully controlled to maintain clarity. I also would say that in some cases, these styles are used to give you that 3D feeling when you have 2D assets. Obviously, engines support this through camera controls, orthographic cameras, and sorting layers. Unity and Godot both offer strong support for orthographic rendering. Unreal can do it too, though it is more commonly used for perspective families. Now, when I was doing some research for this video, I kept thinking most of these styles once were used because affordable for indie developers, or to be different from standard games. Let's say that probably some indie developers wanted to make their game recognizable. With that said, sometimes most indie developers do not choose an art style because it's trendy. They choose it because it is possible. Skill level, time, team size, and tools matter more than taste. A solo developer who can draw well might go for hand-drawn art. Someone with three-dimensional skills might choose low poly. Someone who hates drawing might go minimalist and pretend it was a deep artistic decision. That's clever. Which is something I may or may not have done myself. Art style is also tied to gameplay. Fast action games need clear visuals. Puzzle games often benefit from simplicity. And game engines do not force an art style. They give you building blocks. Sprite renders, mesh renders, lighting systems, animation tools, shader systems, and post-processing effects are the real instruments. Unity is popular among indie developers because it supports two-dimensional and three-dimensional workflows equally well. Godot is loved for its lightweight feel and strong two-dimensional tools. Unreal shines in lighting and materials, even for stylized games. None of these engines automatically create an art style. They just give you the knobs and sliders. The style comes from how you use them. And here's a mistake to avoid. Don't use different art styles in the same game, because it's going to be a huge mess. There are some famous indie games that use different art style in the same game, and they got huge success. So who am I to tell? Another mistake is overusing effects. Just because bloom exists does not mean everything should glow like a radioactive banana. So today we talked about the most common indie game art styles, from pixel art and low poly to hand-drawn, minimalist, voxel, painterly, and isometric looks. We looked at real game examples, how developers create these styles, and what game engines actually offer behind the scenes. Art style is not magic. It is a mix of limitations, tools, taste, and a lot of trial and error. Let me know what you think in the comments. And tell me which art style you love or hate the most. And why is it pixel art? Just explain me. Go on. Thanks for watching.